So here is the ravine between our campsite and our old campsite. Yesterday this was full of water, and the water came all the way up to right here, just below where I'm standing. But now it's receded to about 3 feet below the banks of the ravine. And now we're heading towards our bedraggled little campsite. Yesterday, our chairs were underwater, and the tote was floating, and I thought we were about to lose a table, but I see that that's over to the left, swept into the trees. But the chairs are still here, and the campsite is full of mud, and everything's very bedraggled looking. And here's our poor fire pit, full of mud, and a lot closer to the bank than it used to be. Because a lot of bank has been washed away. And here's some of our sumac with the last of the lilies hanging on just in front of it, right at the edge of the bank. The other lilies that we used to have are right down there, floating in the water between the bank and that wavy bit of sumac. And everything is just mashed and flattened and tangled and twisted every which way. Yesterday that tote was floating a few feet away from where it's currently landed. And there are the chairs again. And over this way, towards our path into the next little clearing, there's our 5-gallon bucket, which used to be full of empty cans and bottles and whatnot that we would bring up from down below, and unfortunately the river has now washed all that away, except for, where did it go? Except for that can right there. That's the only one I've seen so far. And there's the chair that I thought was lost yesterday, but it's just there among all the tangle of stuff in what used to be a lovely little clearing, and is now a mess. And all the weeds are still kind of going in the direction of the water flow, and everything is very slippery and super muddy. And right now the water is swishing below the branches of that tree and making a lovely noise. I'm not sure if you can hear it. And I don't dare get any closer to the bank to try to let you hear it. But this is just some of the bedragglement and debris and muck and mud in our campsite. And you really can't see the path anymore, and I'm tripping over stuff as I'm walking because the path is full of limbs and weeds and stuff. And it's very muddy and very slippery. And I'm hoping that next spring, other than the missing parts of the bank and our missing lilies, I'm hoping we won't see too much sign of the current destruction. But the water is still really, really high, higher than we've ever seen it in the spring. But it's no longer over the banks, what's left of them. And we're hoping that the rain has come to an end, and that our poor little campsite will recover its former glory. And once we move the fire pit back a safe distance again from the bank and fix things all up, I think it will be just fine.